Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering the Real Housewives of Miami. This is season 7, episode 4. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe, and you can leave your comments below. So let's get into this episode. Okay, you all. I don't think it's going to be a long one. Just to let you know. It was somewhat filler, and I want to give my real feelings in the moment. I don't really know how much more I want to tolerate the discrimination with racists, not racist. Miami is a melting pot. New York is a melting pot. Does every cast have to be mixed with different cultures and different nationalities, different races? Probably not. But look, all I'm going to speak about is Miami. It's imperative that we're just not seeing white women on Miami, because that's not the representation of Miami. And I also believe that about New York. Now, possibly they could have some type of upstate for the rich white women, but New York, because you remember the old cast of Roni, they didn't really like going downtown to New York. Leah was the first one to really bring the cast to one of her events down there. Maybe there should be some type of mix, a different type of show for New Yorkers, the real New Yorkers, that has a blended cast. The bullying and icing out is just dumb, in my opinion. It's gonna feel like I'm hypocritical. Do I see it for a lot of these folks on Miami? For real? No. Because I'm just going to be honest. I've been ready for Gertie to leave. However, let Gertie hang herself. Not y'all doing this mean crap to try to get her out. But Gertie's a fighter, and you're just not gonna push her. That's what I can respect about her. I promise you I don't see it for her, but I can respect that you're not going to push me off where I've been casted at. Y'all doing it to Adriana. I haven't been seeing it for Adriana either, so why? And then this girl, Julia, decided to jump ship from Adriana so she can hang with people that have done her dirty. That's a pick-me and somebody that wants to climb the social ladder. I was excited for her to do it, I think, because season 4, I was like, what are y'all doing? You're making yourselves the outcast. I think it's cool if you want to blend in with folks, Julia, but at the expense of your real friendship, that's not cool. That's not cool. And Adriana has every right to feel exactly how she feels. Yeah. I don't know how the episode started. I just watched it too, so. Gertie's with her children. I thought there was supposed to be a birthday celebration or some type of celebration for her son Liam, but then it was about Halloween. But Gertie says, she knows she has to get back to normal life outside of the health issues that she has, and the real common thing for her to do, or the most normal thing for her to do, is to design, and that's who Gertie is. So she decorated the home for Halloween, all that good stuff. It's Halloween in Miami. Well, season is about to start, and what I mean by season, a bunch of the snowbirds will be headed down pretty soon. Anyways, after she shows the family what she's doing, her and Russell have a talk, and all I can do is feel bad for her. And this is what was happening to her. She was humiliated, and she felt they were trying to make her feel worthless. Julia. And I understand it. Julia's in this other scene talking with someone. Was it with Martina? I don't even know. But she's playing the white woman card, the Karen card, and acting like she was so insulted. I feel like Gertie was coming out, was attacking my family. No, she was attacking your whack tail. Because you decided to get surgery while your wife is going through her own health issues, right in the midst of her getting chemo. And somehow now your whole family has been attacked because she spilled the tea about you and because of what you want people to perceive you to be. And maybe you do have an agreement within your household in regards to how you're going to handle each other. Cool. But you don't want to be honest about that. But it's better to humiliate her. You know, I did kind of misspoke about how nobody spoke up for Gertie. They did. Ish. Larsa did, but after the fact. It's just not like we didn't see her really stand up and fight and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She didn't get loud and boisterous with them. But she did tell her, like, no, this isn't, you shouldn't do that. She did do that. It was either Alexia or Marisol that said, no, that shouldn't have happened, da-da-da-da-da. Cool. Yeah, so I stand corrected. I had to remember, and somebody did speak, but it doesn't look like their voices were amplified to really fight for Gertie. Let's see what else. All we know is with Alexia, they're getting an extension of the time that they can have to file the divorce, basically Todd. But I don't know how much more I'm going to speak on Todd and Alexia because what for? At this point, they are still creeping together. She already said that on Watch What Happens Live, so what's the point of me being invested in whatever y'all got going on? I don't even know who met. I can only tell you what I remember. I'm sorry, y'all. I know Marisol met with someone. I said, ooh, Marisol got so much style. I think probably with Larsa. Oh, that's a little bit later. We'll get to that. Larsa, she helps introduce the newest mojito, and it's Stephanie. Stephanie has some money with her husband. And it looks like she's in some business someplace or whatever. We know that she does not want any type of babies. She met her husband while she was 26 and he's 50. And she says she doesn't want to be viewed as somebody as like a gold digger or something like that. Stephanie and also Brownland on Salt Lake City. I don't need y'all to come on here and try to explain to us and make it seem like it's something da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We get it. We get it. And you can't, no, we get it. We get it. And it's okay. It's really okay because y'all sitting up here saying you marrying for love, and 9.8 times out of 10 is not the case. So stop it. Stop it. Shout out to Portia. Yeah. So yeah, we get introduced to her. We find out that Stephanie was not interested in meeting with Larsa. Larsa, her and Stephanie have a mutual friend, Caroline Stansbury. She's from the Real Housewives of Dubai. That's on pause. And the Ladies of London back in the day. So she said I wasn't interested, but then ended up warming up and liking her. And she loved Larsa's sense of humor and all that good stuff. So they really clicked. Later on, they meet. And of course, Julia's there because she's got to now report for duty in order to keep moving up the social scale because she really wants to be friends with Stephanie, which is quite weird because you have the wife that has the clout and then you are this model, but you're sitting up here chasing after other folk on the TV show. People should be chasing you, but we're sick of the goats. So they all have conversation. Marisol's there. Alexia was supposed to come, but she didn't come or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Do they talk about... Oh, there's a different conversation with Alexia, Lisa, and Marisol. They're telling their side as... Well, not their side. What Larsa told them about Lisa. Lisa said, well, that's not really true as far as what Larsa said about Jody being... talking loud and all that stuff. But then Lisa got on social media last night. And ended up first saying, oh, he's never, ever... raise his voice at me, the children, or his daughter, da-da-da-da-da. None of that ever happened at the thing. And then all of a sudden she says she's just lying about it all. So whatever happened overseas? She says, well, we know Larsa to be provoking, and she provoked. So then what actually did happen, Lisa? Maybe, because you're saying that nothing happened at all. But it sounds like something did happen as far as social media. As far as you're able to get on social media to now be treated as a victim. I think that some of that stuff did happen, and Larsa could be just stretching the truth. Y'all know how y'all like for Giselle and Ashley to do that stuff on Potomac. But yeah, I think some of that stuff happened. Larsa's at this point thinking that this dude is a social climber and probably taking advantage of Lisa. But we thought Lisa was doing that to him. We thought Lisa was just with this dude for security. He was her emotional security blanket, all that good stuff. And now the tables have turned. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a good thing to have this guy as your manager, though, Lisa, over your stuff. I guess you have your own money, but I don't know. At least she quit crying to him every episode about something with Lenny. Yeah. Kiki meets with her father. Picked her up from the airport. Basically, the family has been pushing her to make things right with her pappy. We find out that pappy's a Rolling Stone, I think, because I don't think he's still with the stepmama, but he still making babies out here in the world. She wants to mend things between her son and him. It just seems like there's some type of clash due to him. I don't know. It's just like, for whatever reason, how can I say this? Whatever is surrounding her son's birth, he got a problem with. Like, you accept the daughter. Is it because she had this child early in life? Because there's something there that I'm just not really able to put my finger on, but sorry, what's going on there? Because you are really fighting to even try to get to know this child. What else happened? Nothing else story-wise. We get to the baby shower. Adriana's the host, all that good stuff, everyone's having a good time, basically. Adriana gives her speech as the host and friend to Julia. That goes over well. And then Alexia gets up. And now she wants to make a speech. And then there is this little tussle between Alexia and Adriana as to who's the better friend. Okay. Okay. What was I going to say? Then things kind of took a turn. Lisa was late, I think. Was she? Whatever. She's always late. They start talking about the whole Larsa and Lisa situation. We find out that Lisa found out about what Larsa has been saying through Gertie. I guess off camera. I mean, because Kiki ended up saying it. Because they were like, well, who told you, Lisa, about all this stuff going on? And Kiki ended up saying it was Gertie. Why not? If she's friends with Lisa and all that good stuff, she can tell. I mean, y'all gonna tell, whatever. Alexia did say, I don't think it was right for Larsa to say it right then and there because you're grieving. Lisa had said in another scene while they were arguing back and forth, I guess to shut Larsa down, she ended up texting over a picture of her deceased father. While you argue at me, this is what I'm dealing with. I said, lady, what type of Uno reversed card do you think that was? Uno out that you thought this really was, ma'am? That's cringy. That's cringy. And that lets me know that when I say this type of stuff, y'all gonna get mad because y'all so up Lisa's, you know what. You can tell that she don't really respect this man. I think that she's feeling guilty right now because of the stuff that she's going through. She's trying to really reconcile how to feel about this man even in death because they missed so much time. You can tell that there's a war right there. You're supposed to just feel so bad and so this, and she may not even feel bad at all, because she doesn't have a real connection with him anymore. But of course she can't say that because she's got to look a certain way, and that could be hard. So, anyways, Lisa goes to the bathroom and they're still talking about it. She comes back, oh, you're talking about me, I'm the one. When is somebody going to talk about me and what I'm going through and grieving this guy? I'm the one that's going through. So then she says, I'm leaving. I don't feel connected to this story with Lisa. And y'all know me in dealing with death. I'm not feeling connected with her with that. I just don't. I think she's trying to do what looks great. And I think it's okay if you don't actually feel something for the dude. That would be so much better. But whatever. That drink toss kind of has got my mood in a certain way about this show right now. And again, I really don't know how much more I can deal with all of this strife, especially like this racial stuff going on Bravo. I really don't. But that's all I got. Please let me know what you thought of this episode. Again, like this video and subscribe, and until the next one, peace. I forgot one thing. Two things. First, did you know that the adoption isn't even final, at least while giving this baby shower? Why are we giving this baby shower? Second, these two are adopting 2 black babies. We know for a fact Marisol is a racist. But that's so typical. That is so typical in America and across this world. And Julia, you following right up behind her as being racist. And I don't mind saying it. The irony of 2 races getting 2 black children. You know, I typically don't mind. People say don't put these children in the system and all that. Some people need to go in the system. It's never going to get better. Some people need to go in the system for these children to protect them. I just hate when they end up with people that are disgusting. That's all I got to say. Peace.